Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Drakkon New Dawn #1. This is the new Power Rangers comic series that focuses on Ranger Slayer and the world of the coinless, dealing with the aftermath of everything Drakkon, which is, you know, why Drakkon's in the title. It's gonna get people to think it's about Drakkon, but it's not. Although I'm sure they'll cross over at some point since we know he's alive in the main comic. Like, they spent a lot of time in this one being like, Drakkon is dead, and then you know, like, in a few issues or at some point in this series there's gonna be the dead speak, somehow Drakkon has returned. Love working that reference in. Comic kind of starts the way you would think, dealing with the aftermath of everything. Like I said, it talks about how the former coinless and the former rebellion are still fighting and whatnot, and everyone's talking to Ranger Slayer being like, how are you gonna handle this? They're simultaneously saying, you're just another Drakkon, but also you're not as effective as Drakkon. And this one dude that looks like a poor live-action or human version of Daxter tries to shoot her, and obviously it doesn't work because she's got that schmancy new armor. And they're trying to figure out the punishment, and like she's got all these different people in her ear telling her what to do about it, and like, you know, Mercy and Scorpina's like, kill it, do it, show no mercy. I don't know why Scorpina is Palpatine. Palpatine's all over this review for some reason. Well, he is all the Senate and all the Sith, so. He finds out about, like, oh, what would Drakkon do for, like, a minor crime or, a crime that wasn't this. And then Scorpina, I think it was, tells him about this prison. I'm not sure how she didn't know about the prison since she was, like, Drakkon's right hand. I guess maybe he didn't tell her since she was brainwashed. It did seem kind of weird that she wouldn't know about it. And like, it seemed like a handful of other people did know about it. But anyway, it's this prison. And so they're gonna want to use it, and they have to sort of break into it and fight these little robot forces that look like Robo-Tangas. And while they're in there, Kim accidentally finds her way to this super secret chamber room where she finds this like Ranger armor suit-esque guy all chained up for some reason. And she figures that because Drakkon wanted it done, she wants it undone. So she takes him out of there and takes him back to the base, and they try to figure out, like, okay, well, why did he have you there? And we still don't know who he is, and it seems like Drakkon was the one that welded him into this armor based on some of this stuff, so it's a mystery identity. I'll speculate on that near the end, but they're talking to him, and basically what happened was Drakkon kept him there and sort of used him like a sparring partner. Like, he missed having worthy adversaries, so like they would physically fight, and then when the fight would be done, he would zap him, you know, if he got the best of him. Like, I think in the one they showed, he actually got the upper hand, but he just zapped him and put him back in because he said he missed having an adversary that conflicted with his ideals. And then eventually he was telling him about Shattered Grid, and he's like, I'm gonna conquer the multiverse. He showed him all these little shots of him conquering the multiverse, and like each time I'm gonna come back and say, how would you have beaten me? And, you know, obviously he's refusing to answer, but Drakkon says eventually he'll answer, and he does. And he just kind of uses him for that sort of mental challenge and trying to break him and just sadistic Drakkon stuff. But we still don't know who he is as of this issue. But at the end, Finster 5, I believe it was, comes in and says there's a signal that's happened, and then arriving on the planet is a female Eclipter and a bunch of different looking Quantrons. It's interesting because there was a cover shown a little while back for one of the later issues that had what looked like Eclipter and Quantrons. And some people said it was female Eclipter, but I didn't see it. But this one is clearly a different kind. There's definitely a chance we could still see Eclipter in this because, like, this is the coinless world. And I'm curious to see, like, where some of these established characters are in this new altered timeline. But this is a different looking Eclipter, same species, and the Quantrons look different too. So that's interesting. And this was kind of exactly what you'd expect out of a first issue. It kind of lays the groundwork of the issues in general of, like, you know, there's conflict in the world of the coinless and like uncertain leadership. But then we also set up the mysteries and the main things that are going to be happening for this at least first little bit with this arrival of Femclipter and the new Quantrons and whoever this dude is. I'm not sure, like, who this guy is. Part of me was thinking maybe he's another version of Tommy he hooked up. Like, he visited the ZO1 during Shattered Grid and killed him. And I was thinking maybe it's a different version of Tommy from one of the Earths. Like, maybe it's like Dino Thunder era Tommy or Soul of the Dragon era Tommy, and he just wanted him there. Maybe it's a version of Jason or something. It could be an entirely new character. It could be like a mentor character. He did say, when he was taunting him, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and that doesn't necessarily sound like something a good Tommy would say. And it seems that he is a ranger, so I'm definitely intrigued by that. I think that's cool. I like when there's a little bit mystery or something for me to think about within this. I think mainly I was just disappointed that we never saw Drakkon meet Dino Thunder Tommy, because they're both like the pinnacle of what Tommy could have become, and I thought that would have been such a cool interaction. But I don't necessarily think it's... That would probably make a lot of people mad if it was just another version of Tommy behind the the mask, but I was just trying to think what Drakkon would do and why, but it's certainly interesting. Something else I also wanted to mention before I forgot, there was also some like weird flirting between Alt Scorpina and Alt Adam a couple times, and then she was like purposely forgetting his name like Rito used to do with Zed, and that was kind of interesting and unexpected, and we find out like, because Adam is with the Sentries, and I called this into question with Ranger Slayer 1, because I'm like, I couldn't remember Adam being in the Sentries, but they're like, why would you join the Sentries in the first place? And he said, well, it's because I had a wife and daughter, or wife and kid. I don't know if he said daughter, but it was a wife and kid. And then he said keyword had, so he had a wife and kid that he lost, and so that's kind of interesting. So I thought this was overall a solid first issue. It didn't knock my socks off or anything, but I enjoyed it. You know, the first part was kind of what I expected, laying the groundwork, but I'm definitely intrigued by some of the mysteries, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I'm hoping that we wait a little while at least and kind of get into some more interesting stuff before they find out Drakkon's alive, just because I think that there's some interesting paths to go before that. But we'll have to see. And although I am admittedly interested to see how much they might interconnect with the three stories, since they're all going to be happening at the same time and interwoven, and we know Drakkon will have some sort of effect on both Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin, so we'll have to see. But what did you guys think of the start of this new series? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, if you like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell. Some notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.